The answer. So,
gonna say both of us.
Guy has a great lower lip, and Freddie has a great upper lip. So you go for that part that you like. One aspect, he's a bottom and he's a top. Way to kick it off. Who wants to follow that?
Alright, so
wait, I thought you guys were all going to
we all have to answer it.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. Freddie does a really good job of like moving his lips. Now that's it. Christopher has much better lips. Like, much fuller. So I say Christopher.
I'm officially a fan of Paulson. And, no, that's okay, that's okay. Who's a better kisser? I tell you what, I feel safer in guys' arms. Christopher intimidates me. How you do it, I don't know. You have this gentleman rolling on top of you, and you just go, oh my god.
You do say, oh my god.
She goes, you do say, oh my god.
No, guys, look, they don't. All these questions don't all have to be sexual.
You're the one that started this.
You started it.
I did. I tried to.
I'm sorry.
Bravo.
All right,
All right, so
Yeah, go for it.
in that vein, I mean, I had asked you and Chandler before if you decided who was bottom and who was top in these scenes, and he said that you guys had a system of whoever's arm was on top at that you guys kind of fought over that. So I was wondering if there's any conversation about that between.
There's always conversation.
we pay attention. Yeah, we don't let that slide.
Well, here's what's interesting is the fact that we've all been with each other. We've all been with each other.
Yeah, where's the three-way?
So,
Only on the telephone.
Yeah, we build that by the minute.
well, no, seriously though, on a technical note, we've all been with each other.
Yeah, that'll never happen. That's the only true story that has ever happened in soaps.
The what?
That's all in soaps. That's the only time it's ever happened because all three are same sex. They've all three been with each other. That's never happened.
So, well, with that being said, top and bottom, one, it's got to be both.
Yeah.
Versatile.
If somebody's versatile. Somebody's versatile.
We're all versatile.
Yeah.
Is that what you were in your mind?
Freddie, you need to draw a Venn diagram.
Yeah. I'm gonna try
Next
to
question. Tracy, do you have a question?
No.
Tanya.
What's been your favorite scene you filmed so far?
I mean, it's the wedding episode. Will always be that. Will always be it. Nothing could ever come close to that. Now, having said that, and knowing that will always be in Pantheon, Freddie and I have done some scenes when we like some of the stuff that's aired. I think it's aired sometime in the last 4 to 6 weeks when it came out about the affair, or really that I cheated on him, and we really went for it emotionally, really fought, and that was fun because it really allowed us to for me to act with as Will to be with Sonny and to see a side of Sonny that doesn't usually come out, and I loved it because it really showed that Sonny's not just a teddy bear. He's strong, he's fierce. And
he's a curiosity.
To act against Freddie Smith, it was like a side of Freddie that I know it's there, but I hadn't had a chance to work with professionally. So for me, that was a lot of fun because it was a departure from sort of the creative construct of most of our scenes, and certainly it was just a departure from our normal dynamics.
I think after those emotional scenes too, because realistically, we shoot so many scenes, but there are times that we just we'll not even say bye and we both dip, but then there's times where we have to like hug it out. Like after the scenes are over.
Yeah, sometimes
you know
we'll
when we've done a really good connection or something good happens.
We have to like, there's
We
like
hug it
there's
out.
gotta be a hug. And sometimes, we'll shoot stuff that's a little casual. It's like, all right, man, have a good weekend.
Yeah.
I was like, say hey to Alyssa.
Exactly.
As a follow now. It seems, at least for me, that there's kind of been a reversal that when the whole first part of the relationship, that Sonny was the confident, kind of leader of the thing, and just strong-willed and everything, and that Will was kind of, I don't want to say wimpish, but just a little more, probably a follow-along, and it seems like now there's been a complete reversal of that.
Sure. Yeah.
And just wondering what your take is.
Sure. I mean, I have a take on it, but that's it. I mean, you've been here since the beginning. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, that's what we always look for, because there's times when you guys sit around and go, come on guys, let's see something different. As actors, we're still like, all right, come on, let's see something different. So it's the same exact thing as an audience member and as an actor. We like when we're able to do something new and exciting, and
It just seems to be out of character.
Well,
I think people grow.
Yeah, and I think insofar if you trace like the evolution of the two characters, Sonny certainly was out and comfortable and open about his sexuality years before Will was. And were it not for Sonny, who knows how long it would have taken Will to have come to that, that empowering realization. And so I think early on, Sonny was naturally in a leadership position, because were it not for Sonny, Will would not know how to honestly express himself. Now, Will's been spoiled. Like, really, it's like, to have a partner who, of the caliber of Sonny, regardless of, orientation, Will's been spoiled. And he's kind of going through some clearly emotional growing pains, and he's acted out. I don't mean to sound like a clinical psychologist here, but, Sonny is just naturally more mature. He's a few years older, and Will, for whatever reason, he's having these growing pains. And as you put it, Bob, in the beginning, Will was more wimpish, more timid about expressing himself. And now, for better or for worse, Will feels more empowered because he's more comfortable in his skin, which is owed to Sonny. And the irony is now Will's the one who is really sort of the dick. The dick.
And as a viewer, I'm not disappointed in that. I am disappointed in how they kind of knocked Sonny down a couple pegs.
What do you think?
I mean, it's just showing other sides of them. You know what I mean? I think the most mature people still have insecurities and other sides. And depending on what you're going through in your life, I think some people can change slightly or get a departure from it. Yeah.
It's like, I know, even in just speaking like personally, my personal life, like when I think back, there are periods in,
You go through phases.
Yeah, but sometimes you have a year where it's just,
What do you got there?
There's a throat loss.
Can I have a throat loss? Do you have more of them?
Yeah,
I don't want to take
more. She got like some more dog.
Oh my God.
Any other questions?
Dude, that's my last.
Is it really your
That's
last
my
one?
last,
Oh, okay. We'll throw it over to Christopher then, since you took my lot.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to say? Your relationship. I'm just trying to ruin it.
As far as Sonny and how Sonny's being written, and we were sort of touching upon phases in life and maturity. As viewers, I without betraying future storylines, I wouldn't want anyone to think that any character is being cast or sort of relegated into like a less empowered position in his life, if that makes sense. So,
They both said no. They both said no.
I'm just upset you took. I don't.
You can share it.
we're here for them. This is not about you.
Oh yeah.
Like relationships. I mean, look, we all know relationships ebb and flow. What?
I just enjoy you. I can't just enjoy your company.
The best show is watching Guy talk and both of them just make faces at you.
I wasn't making
He never.
You're totally making
He never
faces.
sees the reaction phone during interviews.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't.
Being made fun of is the
Because
biggest.
I always hog, I always talk them
Kind of
off.
flattering.
It is.
No, imitation is the highest form of flattery, not making fun of someone. Next question. Yeah,
You know, I come with a list of questions, so if I don't want to, if someone else has a question,
we've got plenty of time.
okay. It's in that vein though that everyone's talking about you turning into Sammy at this point. So, and I feel that there could have been
Come on in.
Welcome back.
there could have been like I don't know, it doesn't seem like they just jumped into it instead of transitioning into it, because I think there was a real organic thing there that could have happened where, because of his insecurities and because the way it was brought up, you know, but I'm not sure that that's really coming out. He's just kind of being a dick and turning instantly into Sammy instead of like, you know, they didn't really give you that time to work into
You know, I agree. I think Sammy Brady is such a complex character, and so I absolutely, I very much enjoy that Will has really become Sammy Brady's son. It's a wonderful place to be as an actor in terms of, you know, what you get to perform. Now, that said, I do agree. I think there could have been a little more nuance in terms of that progression, into that vein. Will is he came up in a very was raised in a very toxic environment. And so again, you know, it makes sense that he would act out. Sonny's the only really open, honest, you know, empowered relationship he's ever had in his life, you know. And so certainly, like, the signs are there for why Will would act out, or cheat, you know.
Yeah.
That excuses nothing.
Right.
That's it. It makes sense. But as far as the progression, or if you want to call it a regression into Sammy Brady's behavior, I agree. It could have been done with a little more nuance. It could have been nursed a little bit more.
Right.
Because it's like, I feel like Will went from being like a really loving friend to Paul, and helping Paul, open up and be himself. And then all of a sudden, just like that, you know, we're banging, you know. So it's like
We're what?
we had sex. So I hope that answers your question. Basically,
Yeah.
I agree with you. You know, we don't write this stuff. Believe
I
it or
know
not.
you don't,
I wish.
yeah.
Questions for all three of you.
Yeah.
Name one thing that annoys you about the other two, and one thing that you admire about the other two.
Okay.
Christopher.
I'll start. Things that I really like about both of them.
Well,
Guy, his articulation, his vocabulary, infinite. Freddie's maturity, and wisdom, very strong.
Are you calling him old?
Very, no. I'm saying for his youth, he's very young, but very wise. The one thing I don't like is that they're both more attractive than me. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I don't like about you guys yet.
Yeah.
I'll probably figure it out by the end of the day, though. No, they're great. I really have no negatives. So.
you go. I feel like you go. So I'm always the Hawks.
Christopher, I like his sense of humor, how smart he is, how buff he is, how he speaks 2 languages,
Oh, yeah. Yes.
how he's professional.
Sign language too.
Yeah, ASL.
Oh, so you speak 3.5 languages?
Will you shut up?
He's kind hearted, he's the most amazing person in the entire world. Guy, you have nice hair. No, truly, I think I think that's what makes us dynamic as a triangle, is the fact that we all have similarities, but all different personalities. We're all charismatic in a certain way. And the same thing with Guy. Like, he just brings such a, he's just an awesome person. I consider both these guys two of my best friends. I love them.
Thanks.
You know.
So what annoys you?
Honestly, we don't spend enough time for you guys to annoy me. Yeah. Today will be the day. All my
Because it's like we spend about 20-ish hours a week side by side, ballpark, which is like the perfect amount of time.
Yeah.
Because when you're in a professional setting, you kind of have to be playing.
Oh, I got one that's annoying. It's all about you.
Was it the mess I leave in your dressing room?
No, that's become, I'm just used to that. I think it's the fact when we agree that 1:45 we're going to meet in the lobby to then go to lunch.
Yeah, I'm late.
And you're late.
I'm always late.
And then we get behind the rush, and now we're rushed because you can't be on time. And things are open. You just come in and you open up my fan mail and you know my candy, but that doesn't annoy me. You leave the trash in the room, which it really doesn't annoy me. I'll tell you what, when I had a broken back, he tied my shoes for me.
I got that on my list. And no one was watching. It wasn't like I was doing it so like the chicks think I was cool. Like there was no one else.
I mean, you went and told all the wardrobe.
I told everybody.
No one saw it. No one saw it. So, how about you?
Well,
Yeah, you want to be the anchor.
Yeah. Okay, so the things that annoy me. So with Christopher. This son of a bitch talks about fitness all the time. But here's what I admire, is that he walks the talk, like he is fit, and he is always so eager to help other people be healthy. Now, I'm not just talking about physically healthy, I'm like emotionally healthy, spiritually healthy, philosophically, physically. Like this guy, I've never met someone who's more eager. Oh man, that's true. He really wants to make the world and make his surroundings a better place on a personal level. And that it's just there's just not a lot of people out there.
I am. I'm
No, we are.
I truly wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I just laugh when I think funny things.
All right, so now Freddie.
This will hurt.
Oh Lord, you're gonna laugh. Every morning for breakfast.
Oh no!
Freddie gets an egg white omelet with onions, and that's it. Egg whites and onions. That's what he eats. So then when we have to kiss, I get egg and onion, and that's what it tastes like. And I bought him multiple toothbrushes and toothpaste and Listerine, and I laid in his dressing room. Homeboy does not use it. And sometimes he usually gets his omelets to go. So we go in the morning, we do our blocking, he goes, he gets his stuff. He's like, all right, we'll go back, we'll run lines, and he goes back to his dressing room. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get a wardrobe. And I go, I knock, and I walk in his dressing room, and he's in there, just like eating this, but he's been in there eating this onion omelet with the door closed. So there's just this wave of just onion and morning breath just hits me. And then we have to rehearse this, what is meant to be a very intimate scene.
Yep. Oh, and the things you like about me?
Same thing.
I forgot that.
Yeah. Certainly the graciousness and the lovingness with which you welcome me onto the show, given the circumstances. And I mean that just no ifs, ands, or buts, no jokes. Like I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. Yeah. The other thing I like is I just feel like Freddie gets me.
Yeah, I do.
And we, the three of us, I think this is true. I think we've had the great fortune not just to be a part of a very compelling storyline, but that we as individuals complement one another, and what we bring to our respective characters. It really is the perfect triumvirate. It really sinks, and that has made it so much fun, to show up to work with these guys and kiss them.
That was a great question. You really made us dig deep and give some real answers, huh?
Yeah. Lorraine, what about you? You got a question?
By the way, you guys comfortable? You want me to get you some chairs or anything?
Are there enough chairs for everyone?
Sure.
Who's got a question?
No one
I'll
wants
give
to?
you a question.
Yeah.
It's not coming from me, it's from Sarah Potter, because she didn't get to ask it in Atlanta.
Okay.
And it's mostly for Guy and Freddie. She wants to know how much of the engagement party, specifically the end around T's speech, how much of that was scripted, how much of it was ad-libbed?
Oh.
That was when Mindy was on set, the stripper.
That was the engagement party?
Yeah.
We're talking about T's speech.
It was T's speech and the dance and how much of that was all scripted,
That
how much
was
of that
one
was
of the
ad-libbed?
most intense days.
Oh, because of
T's,
Terry.
T's girl. So, Brendan Coughlin, who plays T, is a father now, and he has a beautiful son named Sawyer Creek. Beautiful, beautiful son. And the mother of his child, they met on the set, Terry and Drace, on the set of Days of Our Lives, and they're raising this child together now. Now, when we shot that episode, they brought in T, and for those of you who have seen it, T had this beautiful 3-page monologue. I mean, it was epic.
Yeah.
And just before he was about to get up and do it, Terry was, I believe, 7 or 8 months pregnant at that time with Sawyer. And the writers wanted to bring her in as, just part of the poetry of it, just to bring everything full circle. Now, what we didn't know is Terry wasn't feeling well that day. And so literally just before T was about to get up, to film his 3-page monologue, Terry collapses, falls, hits the ground kind of hard, and fortunately she fell slow, and I saw it out of the corner of my eye happen, and someone else did, and so we were able to get in there and get it found out. So it could have been much worse. Obviously, we're all freaked out. She came to after a little while and said, "I'm sorry, I'm just so dizzy," and she was taken, to the hospital as was appropriate. And she keeps saying she's okay, and she was. And she really brought a lot of energy to it. But you were on the show, Nancy.
No.
You missed the time. That was an intense day, not just because of Terry and Brendan, but just the performance that Brendan did, and just how everything turned out. It was very special. Yeah.
Now take it back. I have a question for Chris.
Okay.
What's the difference between the garbanzo bean and the chickpea?
I think one makes hummus.
Oh, I know the answer. Wait, how does it go again? Don't say it.
Oh.
Okay, I'm not gonna say it.
It's a very vulgar.
It's a really vulgar joke.
joke.
It's very vulgar. Do you guys want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the setup? Say the setup again, Lorraine.
What's the difference?
I'm not giving you the list.
What's the difference between a garbanzo bean and a chickpea? Does anyone know the answer?
I do know the answer. I shouldn't know the answer, but I know the answer.
Do you want to press pause? It's a South African joke, I only heard it the other
That
day.
was Lorraine.
I never heard that one. That was the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wish you guys thought it was a little funny. Now I just feel embarrassed. I should have stopped you.
Yes, Andy.
I guess this is an easy one, but I'm curious. How much fan mail do you guys get?
What's interesting is, here I am going first. Go ahead, buddy.
So much that you can't actually get through all of it.
Oh.
So that's kind of cool. I think a lot of the fan mail nowadays, though, of what we see on Twitter. You know what I mean? Because going through the packages and everything, we do our best. But I think through Twitter is where I see most of the fan mail nowadays.
So in terms of like actual mail, are we talking like 10 letters a week, 100, 1,000?
I think it varies. And here, I'm just going to be modest and honest. Freddie gets probably 5 times more fan mail than I do in terms of hard copy mail. Now that said, I enjoy Twitter and Instagram, and I'm very active on that. So I like to think that that's where like a lot of my interaction can come from. But it varies, and it also depends very much on the storyline that's airing. Mm-hmm. So like around the time of the wedding, all of you. Many of you who are in the room today, banded together and sent us like the most beautiful books and picture books and letters, cupcakes, and we get it and we notice, and it
notice because you eat all.
But it's like which is to say, it varies on the storyline or where we're at in the story.
Great diet plan for you, bro.
You do, yeah. Actually, when I departed my last day, I took all the candy I had left in a big bag, and I dropped it off at his place.
And he put it in my dressing room, and I was like, dude, what is this? He's like, this is all the candy that's been sent to me over the last 4 years. I'm like, is this some kind of joke? He's like, no, and it wasn't. Like, he was like genuinely thinking he was doing me a solid.
It was expired.
He was like, I pick up a bag of Skittles, and it's like, expires October 1st, 2011. It's great.
That's still good.
Didn't
That's,
stop you from eating it.
yeah.
No, I really didn't eat that one. So I didn't eat all of it, though. That's what most of it was.
And Chris, we think your answer.
I think at the end of every week, I can probably fill a large manila envelope with all the fan mail. And then, I just, if you're doing like that as well as social media, I any given moment I have over 100 messages in my Facebook. So I go through it, I start from the bottom and I work my way up, and it takes me sometimes 3-4 hours a night. But I try and get it to everyone.
You do it every night?
No, not even once every 3-4 days. But it's like, hey, what's up? And then, I say, I'm doing well, how are you? And the conversation then continues, like, I'm well, what's up? And I'm like, talk to me, ask me something. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
But the other thing too, that here's what I get a lot of, and I presume it's the same with you, is I get a lot of letters being like, can you please send me an autographed picture? And the thing about that is, we don't really have a ton of pictures on hand and autograph it, and then to figure out like where you live and then get the postage and get it there. Whereas if we ever, certainly for me, if I receive a letter with a self-addressed stamped envelope, I will always mail it back because that's so easy. It's like I have the pleasure of just writing a letter, like a handwritten letter, which is way more intimate than a Twitter message. So if and when, you guys want to send, if it's possible, like again, I'm not saying like I'm cheap, I won't pay the postage, but if you send us a letter, I can or self-addressed stamped envelope, I can write a return note and literally give it to the mail people at the day's publicity office, and it will go out that day. So that definitely sort of affects how we can approach, our fan mail, because now with Twitter and Instagram, it's much easier for us with our schedules to be more active there because we can do it quickly, as opposed to, signing 40 photos and then mailing 40 photos out to 40 different addresses. And that's just a sign of the times. It's not for any lack of caring on our part.
Very true.
Yes, it is.
Well said.
Well said. Any other questions?
On a shallow note, this does not affect you at all, as yet. It might, we have to see in
on
the
a
future, but.
Yes.
Don't take your shirt off.
Who did you two piss off in the wardrobe department? I'm sorry. But so, like I said, no, you had one day because the day of the little fair thing where,
The affair thing.
The fair where they had the charity thing where you were fine first and you changed into that god awful paisley. And I said, he was rating Sonny's wardrobe.
That was Freddie's,
Yeah, I had to be Sonny's wardrobe.
It was Sonny's wardrobe.
Was it mine?
It was paisley, so it must have been.
This is actually one of my wardrobe shirts.
No, I'm okay with that. The stuff that, like the thing, there was one scene where you actually blended in with the wallpaper of the club.
That's kind of his style. He goes through wallpaper.
Oh my god! Well, we won't even discuss the club.
Okay,
the club
you remember?
sucks, just for the record. The club sucks. The club should have been what Victor's Club is.
Yes.
That's whatever they gave you a nursing home. It just, I don't understand.
I feel you.
But
here's the interesting thing is I'm never complaining about wardrobe because we're usually only in it for a day, maybe 2 days. It was 2 minutes short, so they decided to add a monologue with me and my dad in the waiting room, and I had to go back in, and it was with that shirt. It was with that shirt. It was the time when he was in the hospital, and I was in the waiting room with my dad. That was added a month later for time. Yeah.
it was shot. It wasn't him. It wasn't him.
Oh, yeah, Chandler.
It was Chandler.
What was it like filling the shoes of a 3-time emulator?
Let's finish wardrobe and then
Oh man, I was.
well, as far as pissing off wardrobe. The thing is, it's. I don't feel like I pissed them off. If anything, if I'm just gonna be honest, if I'm just gonna be rigorously honest, I'm just kind of apathetic. Like I'm like, again, I'm in it for the day. It's usually clothing that I would never wear. So a part of me is like, you know what? I would never wear this in real life. Like let's see how this flavors the character. But the volume of negative feedback from the fans. So I did. I went.
The vests, I gotta go.
I think you said something. It's gotta be Aaron.
Like 2 months ago, I went to our wardrobe guy, Richard. I won't mention his last name. I went to Richard and I said, bro. Oh, I didn't say bro, but I said, Richard, can we just tone it down a bit and sort of remove like these bright colors and these polka dot vests and just get some more like earth tones and just make it a little more masculine. Can we just make it a little more masculine? And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. And then it was.
Just handled.
Yeah, it was handled. And I was like, wow, I could have done that.
I was going to say, did you need that long to do this?
You know how it is? It's when it's like you've got like a chore and you just keep putting it off. And like my chore was talking to wardrobe, and I put it off for like a year. I could have just done it, but now it's a little better. The wardrobe's a little better. You'll see. It hasn't aired yet, but you'll notice markedly. All of a sudden, Will is not like a blinding light with these colors and these vests.
Thank God.
What things do each of you improvise on the show?
It looks like you're trying to go first here.
I was just thinking, man. I'm sorry.
Here's the thing. It's a slippery slope because we're really. I mean, fine for me. What?
And you know, the talking about the best improv line ever hasn't been aired yet. Is with the baby.
Oh, that's just mean.
Yes. After we start.
Wait, what? Say that? What?
You're not in the scene.
How come I throw the ball?
Okay, so there's a scene, and it'll probably be airing soonish.
Yeah.
Maybe like a month and a half, a couple months, which doesn't sound soonish for us, which is crazy. But Will and baby Ari are going to visit Gabby in prison.
And that's our time.
And we're walking through Horton Town Square, and I was carrying Ari, you know, I think it was Sydney, and up to this point, the girls, you know, they would speak to us, you know, offset, like, hi guy, or Freddie, but they never started talking on set, because usually they're like, what the hell's going on, you know, like, they're like, what is going, you know, so I'm carrying her through this, and then she looks at me, and she says, where's mommy? Where's mommy? Like, and I'm like, well, we're gonna go see your mommy right now. Because we've done the scene right before that was let's go see Gabby. So we were literally on our way to see Gabby, and she said, "Where's mommy?" And I was able to say, well, I've got chills thinking about it. But really, she just wanted to know where her mother was. Her mother had the cake, but it worked out perfectly.
It was great.
And I was like, we were just shocked, and that was the first time. And so when you see it, insofar as I recall, that's the first time they've ever.
That was her first
spoken
line.
English on the show.
There was a second time that one of my.
No, not like there was other languages. I just mean like.
I think she improv one more line too recently when I was walking with her in the park.
What'd she say?
I forget, but she said something. Everyone was nuts.
Well, what did she say?
I don't remember.
Does it reveal plot? You can't tell me.
It doesn't reveal plot. She just said she says 5 words. How can it reveal plot?
I don't know. I'm wondering how you could possibly forget something that apparently was so powerful.
Okay.
I don't know.
Dinner's gonna be fun.
So Freddie, I'll help you out here. So, exactly how does it feel to step in the shoes of
I mean, I'm a competitive individual, and so and the one thing that I've always known intrinsically is when it comes to telling story, what matters most is story, you know, and the Will and Sonny story that was begun by, you know, Freddie and Chandler, and were it not for Freddie and Chandler, it wouldn't be running today. I've had the privilege of being able to step into it, you know, without getting into details. Chandler made certain decisions that kind of expedited, you know, what happened, and that's his business, and that's fine. And it does not take away in any way what he did for the show, what he did for the LGBT community, what he did for the character of Will. So, in a lot of ways, I'm grateful to this 3-time Emmy winner, because he's out, and I got to come in and do my best to contribute to a story. So insofar as how it feels, you know, I'm a competitive individual. Now for me, it's like Chandler's got 3, Freddie's got 1, he's gonna get one next year, and now it's like I gotta get my axe moving so I can like at least, you know, get something.
You guys gotta see if you're gonna both go for. He said supporting. You need supporting or lead again. Should we all do supporting and review against each other?
I know, that's the thing.
Because if all three of us are nominated,
I don't think
then-
I can beat you. Like, I don't. I really don't. Like, I think his
speaks another language.
His coming out episode in Japanese, like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like, if you want to place a bet, dude, like, we're going to lead
You
actor.
forced us out of
Because
supporting.
that's like, when is lead actor ever easier to win than supporting? Is because of this guy. So, I don't know. We'll see. It's but again, going back to what you said, Bob, and again, it's a humbling experience for me. You know, because I am competitive. I want to win everything. But what I've learned is that story matters most. And in this particular case, this story and serving the story is what matters most. And so it's become a running joke.
It has been a running
It's a
joke.
running joke where Freddie's like, he'll just randomly turn to me. So how does it feel to follow this person? Randomly, and I'm like,
Because that was the number one question they asked was, what's it like for a one-time? And then the next year, then the interview would be like, what's it like filling the shoes of a two-time? And I was like, if he wins it again, the first question you're going to get is, what's it like filling the shoes of a three-time winner? And the first question they asked him was, what's it like filling the shoes? So I always ask him every 3 months, you know.
It keeps me humble.
Yes.
Yeah, look, he's a good actor. He deserved it. What's up? Hey,
Follow up.
Yeah.
What does the role mean to you personally?
Oh, it's changed my life completely. It's changed my life. It's changed the way I view the world. It's changed the way I've come to understand what it means to be oneself, what it means to be honest, and what it means to be respectful. It's changed me completely. And you know, I've been on the show about 20 months now. I've been airing for about a year and a half almost. And you know, to think back to who I was when I had this opportunity, you know, to start working with Freddie, it's completely different in my life in every way. And that kind of stuff doesn't happen. I mean, you know, to have a job like that, like you only get one of those every decade. Like I've had the privilege to have worked on other shows and to have done other projects leading up to this. And each one, you know, you have fun, and each one affects you certain ways, and you take certain things away from those experiences. But to have been a part of this show at this point in our human history, in our social history, that's a gift from God. That's how I feel about it, and I think these guys would agree with me. That's
What was it like filming the water gun fight that you all had?
Wait, is that the one?
The Super Soaker.
Oh, I wasn't in there because I was thinking of something that hasn't aired yet.
What in the world?
Water sports?
Oh, that was hilarious.
You'll see that one soon. Yeah,
we have to whisper.
Now you have to watch. No, because I was off talking to Marlena, so that's a question for you. I wasn't in the water fight.
Yet again, not to be a downer, but that was still yet again the same 2 weeks where I was back to work where I shouldn't have even been walking. So I had a big back brace on, and I had to like act as fluent as possible without like hurting myself. But we were shooting each other. It was great. You get to play with kids that are running around, and I think we can touch on. There's a scene coming up in the park where all of us guys get together, and they decided it'd be funny to take a water bottle and while the cameras aren't on, to squirt water on each other's ass. So we'd walk in front of camera with a wet ass. And, so keep an eye out for that. That's what you were whispering.
Yeah. So, and the funny thing too is the director that day, because we have
he was getting pissed off.
We have a corral of directors. We've got like 4 or 5 directors on rotation, and this particular director, who will remain nameless, I don't like him much. I don't like his attitude.
Oh shoot!
I'm
not in this combo.
Alright, well, Freddie agrees with me.
I don't agree.
He used to be cool, and then he went off the deep end. But anyways, we had this particular director, and it was just so he was so pissed. He was like, he started screaming over the PA, "Stop squirting water! Stop it! Just be serious! Be serious!" You know? And that just made us like do it even more. It was great. I need some water. No, seriously, does anyone have any water?
No, it's
no, I'll find a water fountain in a bit.
Look, everybody.
That's fine. Thank you, Heather.
Throw it, we'll catch it.
Don't throw it. Don't throw it.
Soak his ass.
Thank you. Oh, sportsman watch. Sportsman watch. Thank you. All right. Excellent. Next question.
Christopher, did you have any idea what you're getting into? I mean, they've made history, the characters made history, so now you're coming in between them, and now you're John Black's son. Did you have any idea how big this part was gonna be?
I had no idea. I mean, I understood the fans were amazing.
Rabid?
Fanatic fans. I understood that the following was amazing, and hopefully I was going to be received in a positive light, but, you know, I was coming between one of the most controversial couples Days has ever had. So that was frightening, but they both welcomed me, and I was nervous, and they remedied that. So it was like, they were just wonderful, and all I did was just come in, much like Guy says, I told a story. I just came in and did the best I could to tell a love story, regardless of male or female. It's just love, and that was just it. You know, I did my best work, and hey, Brad, I got lucky. What's up, Brad?
Andy, Bob is Andy. I saw you raise your hand too.
I was wondering if there was ever any consideration to the family getting a dog in the show.
A dog?
Maybe a dog.
A dog?
Oh, like a four-legged bark.
Like
Kids and animals.
Basically another baby.
Yeah.
It would be,
Never do that.
yeah, it'd be too much to wrangle.
Way
They have to have twins because if one cries, so a dog would be unpredictable.
That's just. I mean, it'd be cool.
It would be cool. It'd be, you know.
Maybe like for a day and it dies, but that's. More dramatic.
Well, timing and budget, I think, would be a major complication with that. Again, like having to risk that unknown. You know, so it's just so many complications, so many variables. I don't think they would do it. Yeah, but then again, you know, the show is revamping and it's getting stronger than ever. So it's gonna be great to listen.
Dogs. We got dogs.
Is the fan mail primarily Paulson, Wilson, or Farida?
It's all.
What are the fans? I mean, what are they rooting for?
Well, it's interesting. The fan mail I receive is Wilson. I'm sure you probably get Marita.
No, I get more. Wilson is
That's right, you're Horton.
Horton and Narita, yeah.
Yeah, or
And
pill.
You're a Horton.
Oh yeah, that's
You're
Paulson.
Wilson.
That's right. That's what I meant. I meant Paulson.
Paulson,
We're nerds.
Wilson,
pill. Your pill.
Harita?
Pill.
Oh, okay.
I mean, for me, it's always just been very, very, just directed towards me in particular. Like, you are doing great, welcome, and good job. You know, and keep it
Don't
up.
worry about the other two.
You know, we like what you're doing. It's just keep it up. It's kind of a morale. Like, they're giving me the 2 thumbs up. So, next acceptance letter, I appreciate it.
Yeah, usually the stuff that addresses 2 or more, you know, those will come in the form of tweets because you can tag both people at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, so that's
Very true.
And most of all the hard mail, the actual mail,
hard copy mail.
hard copy mail is hard mail. It's all positive stuff. I've never actually received hard mail that was negative. It's been all positive. Hard mail.
Yeah, I mean, for someone to like go to the effort to write something like "you suck" and send it like.
During the time we did that, we didn't post the video. There was a time where he read every negative tweet, and I recorded him getting his reaction.
No, there was on the Facebook. It was like when I was first on that. It was from the Facebook fan page, I think, as opposed to. It wasn't from Twitter.
It was tons of negative stuff people were
Like,
saying
what
about
you
you,
said, yeah.
but it was still. Yeah, but we were recorded, but we didn't want to fuel the mean tweets. But it was. I never laughed so hard because
when you read
they were
something
so
out of
mean.
context, when you read something out of context, that is like really malicious to the point, you know, where it's like we never met before, but you're telling me to die. It's like, you know, it's well, maybe not that. They weren't all that serious, but it's like reading it out loud. You know, so, I don't know. There's just something really funny about it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
Other celebrities, like on.
Right,
Yeah,
Jimmy
that's
Fallon
what,
does that.
yes. So you understand, like I don't know, reading me
Like on
tweets.
Fallon and some of the
Yeah.
other, Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kimmel
does
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Thank you.
So that was kind okay. That's it. So you guys, for whatever reason, it's really funny. So we're just like reading mean tweets to each other and got a kick out of it. And it's nice,
Some of
'cause
them are actually like super mean. Some of them are clever. Like I'm just like that's real mean.
That's
Kinda
actually like
funny.
funny.
Like it's so yeah. Like it's still terrible. Yes.
This question's for Guy. So what did you enjoy most about doing the LA Marathon, and are you going to do another one?
what I enjoyed most about doing the LA Marathon was that I completed it. And as I've been pretty vocal, and I've got it on my Twitter page too, that I've been doing a lot of work with APLA, which is an acronym for AIDS Project Los Angeles. And that's a charity that raises funds and provides social services and medical care to individuals living with HIV and AIDS in Los Angeles and the greater area. And it's a charity that has meant a lot to me, and I've been, I have very, very dear friends who are, work with it and who are a part of it. And I'd done this in 2009, and so I trained with them this year leading up to this, to the LA Marathon, and it basically in exchange for raising money for them. They provide me with professional class training, jersey, they pay for my entrance fee and all of that, and it's not just fun. It's great because now I'm actually, able to, use my, I don't like to use this word, but use my celebrity to bring awareness to an issue that, I think is still an extraordinarily, very real present issue. Like AIDS has not gone away. A lot of people talk about, cancer and ALS, and those are all very real things that need to be talked about. But in my personal opinion, I think the conversation and the dialogue about HIV must be continued and really should not be relegated to the back burner. And that's why I really care about supporting APLA and doing this painful marathon. It was awful. And that's it. I am going to be doing another marathon later this year. I'm super excited about it. And I think I tweaked my Twitter bio a little bit, so it mentions it. That I'll be, for the first time, APLA as qualified, because it's a charity, but we're going to be running the Athens, Greece Marathon with charity status, which means that we get to pay less to get into it. And if I raise $10,000, then APLA will be able to fly me out to Athens, Greece for a minimum of 5 days. They'll pay for 5 days, and after that I pay my way. But they'll pay for airfare and race entry, and I'll get to run the original marathon route. Like the word marathon is it was named after a city in Greece called Marathon. And I can't remember the exact story. It has to do with someone running 26 miles or something like that to warn one city-state that another city-state had been invaded. I'm very rough with that history.
Nike.
Yeah. Well, take your word for it. Yes. So that's something that, assuming my throat ever heals, I'll start training for that probably around June, and I'm excited to get back out there and raise money again, for this cause. And having said that, to those of you, what's so funny, Susan?
Christopher.
Those of you who have so generously donated to my efforts to raise money for the LA Marathon, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am remiss to acknowledge that I've yet to really take a look at that list and write, to acknowledge some of you personally. I haven't had a chance to do yet. I will, and I know exactly who you are. And I will, I'll get my crap together and I'll get back to you guys and thank you. But every little bit helps, and every donation, when I receive a donation, I get an email that says so and so donated, so I get to see, it comes straight to my phone like so and so donated, and it just makes my day. So thank you to all of you for helping me, help raise, continue the conversation and the dialogue about HIV and AIDS awareness, and. Greece, that's gonna be nuts.
That's awesome.
Hey,
yeah.
What's up?
Yes.
So regarding the twins, is there one that likes one of you better than the other, or?
I wouldn't say better than the other. I think Sydney works a little more than Harper, but they're both sweet and love us equally.
Yeah, Sydney I'd say works. I'd say 75% of the time it's Sydney.
Sydney, yeah.
Now that said, when we're playing with them backstage, Harper is usually, she's the little monkey that's just ready to play. She's ready. When Sydney is on, she's on. But the thing about Sydney, and I think why she works a little more, is she's less prone to, breaking down and crying. She's a little bit more consistent in her temperament.
Yeah.
Whereas Harper will have some mood swings. But when she's happy, I've never seen anything more joyful than Harper. So. Yeah. So it's Yeah, I think it's equal, and they just sort of have, I mean, they're two different individuals, they have different personalities.
Have you talked about doing projects after days together, maybe collabs in the future? Or would you be open to that, or do you?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No, I mean, we've all talked about working on things together. And it'd be fun to play like a different character amongst each other. So, you know, no, we definitely have talked about it, and especially with producing and everything. So
Christopher's actually very, and I'm not, this is not a joke. Like he's actually like a legitimate like producer. Like he's a very hard. Like you've done stuff. Yeah.
I made that a point when we first met.
Oh my god, it was so funny. Okay, funny story. It was like his second week. Oh no, it was like his first week because remember, like, you know, Will Horton was in Hollywood when Paul arrived. So when I came back onto the show from that hiatus, my hiatus, it was like the first week I had a chance to really get to know Christopher Sean.
Oh.
And he was still, you know, new on the show. He'd only been working for like 3-4 weeks, if that. Yeah. And it was like lunch, and I was like, hey man, I want to go to the commissary to get some lunch. You want to come with? And he's like, yeah, bro, yeah. So we get over there and we're talking, and all of a sudden his phone rings, and it's the stage manager, and they're screaming at him because lunch is over and his scenes are up, and like production has been halted because they can't find Christopher Sean. He's having lunch with me at the commissary, and he's like, oh, and he runs over there, and you know, they get there and they do the scenes, and Christopher, afterwards, he goes into the production booth, you know, because in the production booth were the EP, the executive producer, the producer, the director, the tech guys, they're all in there, and those are all the people who are waiting. And who are all, you know, acutely aware that with each passing minute, that's money lost, you know. So he goes in, to his credit, he apologizes. Look, I'm so sorry. It's never going to happen again. Look, I'm a producer, so I you know, you can trust me. I get it, guys. I get it. I'm one of you. I get it. And then he walks out. And they must have thought he was such a tool. So he doesn't introduce himself as a producer anymore. So that's why he was laughing when I said that. But factually, he's a very, he is a business savant. Like this guy is I have little doubt that we'll all be working and collaborating together in some capacity. So to answer your question, Kevin, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And yes.
So, on the theme of working together, that's sort of random. If you guys could write, I know some of you write, I don't know if you write, if you guys could write for one of the other characters on the show, or specifically one of the other actors on the show, who would it be and what sort of story would you like to write?
I want to write a comedy with Galen Gehring, Eric Martzop, and Brian Datello. Oh my god.
Now, are we talking about something independent from Days or something?
Independent from Days.
Oh, independent
But
from
either would, well, if you wanted to write about a specific Days character, then I guess it would be related, but otherwise with one of the actors in any kind of story you want.
Sure. Well, if I was to take over the writing for a specific Days character, for some reason the first character that popped into my mind is JJ, because I can you know, relate to, as I'm sure you guys can, you know, like what it means to be like a young man, you know, dealing with stuff.
Having sex with your girlfriend's mother.
All I have to say is, like, you did not want to know me when I was in Hollywood between the ages of 18 and 22. Like, you did not want to know me, and so I feel like I could really, you know, I'd like to, you know, I think the you know, JJ, and I'm not talking about the sex with Cassie the Pirate. That's not what I'm referring to. That was not a reference to sex with older women. That was more just getting into trouble is what that was a reference to in general. Just.
I'm just here for the ride, man. I'm listening.
Anyways, as far as writing something independently,
wait, you have little girls running away from you.
That's fine. It's fine. They don't know. Brian Datello, Daniel Cosgrove, and that's all I need. I need Datello and Cosgrove, and I'd write a role for me. It'd be them two and me.
Those guys are great. No,
Oh,
they're
great,
great.
yeah.
It'd be a lot of fun. They're so comical.
It would be a dark comedy though, dark comedy, like Boogie Nights comedy, you know, like Boogie Nights, or like
That's comedy.
It's a dark comedy. It's a drama, but there's comedy. I mean, it's funny.
No, no.
It's darkest. I don't know if that's another.
With prosthetics or not?
we're organic. We don't need prosthetics.
Oh man. You know, a passion project. I would probably just take the three of us, our dynamic, and just put us in like a Full House kind of like a type thing.
You got some
Had kids.
stuff on your nose.
I mean, honestly, I think we have a great dynamic, the
No,
three of
we
us.
do, you're
You know,
right.
it's like somebody put it best on Facebook. If we were a circus act, who would be the ringleader, the muscle man,
I saw that.
and the jester? You know, obviously, Guy would be the ring man, right?
I'd be the ringleader, muscle man, and I don't know what you'd be.
Ringleader.
He's not a jester. He's like sexy. Like, is there a sexy jester?
No, Freddie would be the ringleader.
Freddie's the ringleader, and I'm the jester.
You'd be the muscle man.
I'm not. You're muscly than
All right. You know, you set it all up.
I don't
But
like it.
I think we have a lot of fun. You know.
No, it's true.
We just accentuate or highlight our positives and negatives, and it would just be a lot of fun.
And we make money.
I just want to thank you all. I mean, this has been awesome. I imagined it in my head, and this is 10 times better than what I imagined. I think you guys are awesome. I think this has been really cool. So, because I know later things are going to get crazy, so I just wanted to honestly thank you all for coming and for sharing your stories with us, and I hope we didn't frighten you with our stories.
Thanks to you three.
All right. Well,
Yes.